instance, if we look at the Bitcoin chart here, I don't know if you can pop it up, but one of the things that I love is that Bitcoin actually showed us that a mini breakout was going to come in, right? So you have this pivot high, which was your FTX high pivot, down to this high, and you could see how price was kind of going here. It crept above, paused, kind of retested that line, and then it's gotten this little bit of a bullish move. Now, as soon as we get the first bullish move, we start hearing about, oh, the bottom's in, we're going to go to new all-time highs in 3-6 months. In reality, that's not what it's telling me, right?
Welcome, future millionaires, to Crypto Media, where we inform you on the latest news on crypto. In this video, we will be discussing on Soloway's prediction on how Bitcoin is about to turn red and how some more downtrend is going to happen. If you don't know who Soloway is, he is a pro trader with over 20 years of experience. In his early career, he dedicated himself to the study of technical charts. While trading his own capital, he created proprietary tactics like the confirmation signal, three-tail theory, and river theory, along with cycle analysis. He was gifted with an acute ability to read sentiment and time the markets. Basically, he's a crypto trader on steroids.
You're a smart motherfucker, that's right.
Let's hear his technical analysis on what to come for the future of Bitcoin. But before we dive deep in the rabbit hole, please don't forget to like and subscribe to this video because it will greatly help more viewers find my channel. Without further ado, here's Soloway's analysis.
So this is a short-term bullish move, which is inside of a bear market. But the biggest thing to me is this high pivot right from the FTX collapse. So if price were to get above that, like let's say we do have an incredible bull run and we take out this psychologically significant high, which was when FTX collapsed, then to me, now you can talk about the potential for a low is in and maybe a new bull market is on the verge. You basically take the drop and this inside chop, and that's bearish overall. So again, it's just the purity of the charts where you can have these little intra bear market rallies, but until significant pinpoint levels are taken out, you have to be in the camp that we're still in a bear market. That means Bitcoin and crypto is vulnerable for more downside, and you want to be protective against that. I mean, the trend is your friend until it isn't, right? So, I mean, you have to continue to go in that way. As traders, we just have to be very aware of when the trend changes. So for me, if price were to eclipse this big move down, that would be a potential trend change for me. But for me, there's a couple things that I worry about with Bitcoin and why maybe it hasn't quite bottomed yet. Number one, in past cycles, in bear market cycles, prices dropped 80+%. We haven't dropped that much yet. We're getting close, but we haven't dropped that much in Bitcoin's price since the all-time highs in 2021. Here we have the Federal Reserve, and this is the first cycle bear market where Bitcoin does not have printing money going on. And so the question is, does that mean the bear market low is going to be less or more of a downside move? And again, to me, it would make sense that it would be even a little bit worse because the Fed is not printing money. And again, if we can get regulation in the space, I know a lot of people don't want regulation, but I think after you saw what happened with FTX, you need transparency. Then I think that could be a catalyst for the next bull run leading into the halving in 2024.
In essence, the supply of cryptocurrency tokens is not set by a central authority or government. It also relates to cryptocurrencies as a medium of exchange. Transactions using the blockchain can be conducted, authenticated, and recorded in the public ledger without third-party interference. But with the fall of FTX and other centralized exchange, overall, regulation is a good thing for people who want to invest in cryptocurrency. Safer markets mean more public confidence, which often means prices go up over time. However, some people would think the opposite. What do you think? Do you think regulations are beneficial to crypto? Or do you think it's better off being this way without any governmental regulation? Let me know what you think in the comment section below.
So we can go through a couple little trading opportunities here. Let me show my screen again, and then we can go through a few little different things here. So this is the S&P chart that we're looking at. Now, one of the things that I'm watching on this chart is what would be referred to as a bearish flag pattern, right? So we've just hit this trend line. We had a sharp sell-off. And now basically what you're doing is you're creating this formation. After a sharp down move, this would be considered a bear flag, and you would actually expect a breakdown of this pattern over the next, let's say 1 to 2 weeks. The target on this would be to the downside. So if you're looking to short something, this could potentially be a good short. 2, 4, 6, 8 sideways candles. I would look probably for tomorrow, maybe a small bounce tomorrow, and then the rollover there. A couple other trading opportunities here. Let's take a look at Apple. Apple's a good one here. So if we look at the Apple chart, this was a key trend line that I was following, and see how you could go back to 2020 and this trend line hit here, it hit here, 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 and then broke. Once that broke, that was a major technical short signal for a down move in the stock itself. And again, that was perfect in terms of the downside move. We're obviously selling pretty sharply on the chart at this point as well. You know, these type of break points, you can see that, all right, that's a significant break because it held here and here and here. Once it breaks, there's going to be like a floodgate letting open or releasing major kind of a flow to it, if you will. Let me look at a couple others here. So another one would be BX. This was a trade that we recently took, and you can see how this downsloping trend line, it hit here, kissed it here, 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 here. I said, okay, it's hitting support here. Every time it hits, it gets a significant bounce. And so why don't I just buy right here? And you can see this is a current trade I'm actually long in. You can see the bounce right here is coming up, and we are in the money about $3 or so on this trade at this point. So it's just a matter of, again, looking for these similarities that occur over and over in charts and putting yourself in a position where you have a defined risk with obviously a very good reward. I look at volume in certain scenarios, like for instance, when the markets are rallying on light volume or a stock is rallying on light volume, I don't trust it because in general, what that tells me is that there's not big money buying the stock. And so if you just have some small investors buying it, that's not a very good bullish signal. So for instance, when the markets are floating up on light volume, be very, very wary because the big money could be waiting to sell into it and kind of crush it back down. On the other side of the coin, when you see big drops in a stock or in a crypto, that's where you get those kind of heavy volume candles, which could be capitulatory or capitulation, which shows a bottom. The key is when I see that, I want to see something like in the candle, like a bottoming tail that actually signals that institutional money is buying, right? So for instance, for those of you that don't know what a bottoming tail, it's when you're at the lows of a chart and you have a heavy volume sell-off, you get this reversal back up in that same candle and you close in the upper portion. So you're still having a down day, but there's a long tail at the bottom. And what that shows you on heavy volume is that the volume was downside, but then buyers came in and swooped in heavily and bought that to the upside. And that again is a reversal signal.
Wait, what? I'm Pickle Rick!
So those are how I use volume, but I don't use volume on a daily basis because again, you'll have light volume-ish days, heavy volume days, but it's really the crazy moves, the really crazy heavy or light volume days that you want to pay attention to. When you're trading a chart, as long as there's volume, meaning there's participants in the market, a lot of them, you're going to get the same sort of formations. And the reason you get the same sort of formations in a crypto chart, a stock chart, a commodity, a currency chart is because who's buying and selling, right? Investors. And so investors, greed and fear is universal. So you're anytime you're trading a chart in anything, it's all about what are investors, what's the psychology of the investor? Are they buying? Are they selling? Are they greedy? Are they fearful? And so you're going to see the replication of charts over and over again. I mean, it's amazingly fascinating how it's all about psychology, and charts are just a representation of human emotion. If you have a level and there's some volume in that chart and you hit the level, then you have to get to a point where you trust that. It has to be to a point where you become a robot, where a level's a level. It doesn't matter what you personally think or what you don't think or what your friend's telling you. Is your friend saying, oh my goodness, this is so scary? It doesn't matter. You got to trust the levels. And again, what I do is I now at this point in my career, I leave it all to the probabilities. So I look at the chart. I've taken all the factors. If the probabilities are there, it doesn't matter if I believe in it or I don't believe in it. It's a trade and I just do it and I look at it in the big picture. You know, if I do 1,000 trades and I have an 80% win rate, I'm going to win 800 out of 1,000 times. I'm going to absolutely have losses, but it's all about the long-term average and the long-term win rate.
Success!
Bitcoin price analysis for a moment displays a green candle as its value has experienced sufficient enhancement. For the past few days have proved salutary for the cryptocurrency as the market has been increasing upward with Bitcoin climbing above the $17,000 mark. But today some bearish pressure has been seen in the market and the price dropped slightly. But still, the bull investors recaptured control and pushed the price to a new high of $17,327. On the other hand, the recent price of the second largest cryptocurrency shows a bullish trend for the day as the price harpoons high again. Chances of a further increase in cryptocurrency value have made a strong comeback, although the price had fell to a critical position of $12.62. But the bulls surged and pushed through and made the price higher. Please drop your thoughts as well as opinion on Gareth Soloway prediction in the comment section down below. Also, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel and turn on post announcements for further video like this. Thanks for watching and take care, future millionaires.